Thank you. I'll call this planning meeting to order. If I could have councillors Hoyle and Danch move that the public meeting agenda dated December 2nd, 2025 be confirmed as circulated. Questions? All in favor? Carried. Are there any disclosures of interest this evening on any of the items? Seeing none. Okay. So we have two non-statutory public meetings and two statutory public meetings. I'm going to start off with item 4.1 is portion of Raglan Avenue, better known as Bell Street, stop up and close a public meeting and its report 2025-211. If I could turn to Mr. Cotton on this one, and then I'll put the motion on the floor, but will Mr. Cotton give us a presentation, and then if there's any questions, we can get it on the floor for questions and comments. Bram, take it away.
To you, Mr. Mayor. This is a portion of Raglan Avenue, also known as Bell, that we're looking to do a stop up and close for. This is a required meeting, and this prepares it for potential future disposition.
You're set? Okay, that's fine. Before I go to questions, is there anybody here from the public that wants to speak about this item? I don't see any. Okay, any questions to Mr. Cotton? Okay, I'm going to put this on the floor. If I could have councillors Aquilina and Bagu move that the Development and Government Relations Department Report 2025-211 be received, that the Economic Development Officer be directed to bring forward stop up and close bylaw for the portion of Raglan Street, Plan 843 Port Colborne, also known as Bell Street, lying west of Welland Street, Port Colborne, west of the railway tracks and east of the drainage ditch, as shown in Appendix A to a future meeting of council for consideration. Questions? All in favor? That's carried. Item 4.2 is a public meeting property lease for cell tower, Public Works property at 3 Kalali Street West, report 2025-212. Mr. Cotton.
To you, Mr. Mayor and Council. City staff was approached by Scott Communications, or Telecommunications, who works on behalf of Bell. They were scouting for a site to improve the cell phone service here in the city. We showed them a number of different sites, and we settled on 3 Kalali. It's the best site that works for everyone. Both the fire chief and the director of public works are in favor of having it there. And this is a required meeting through our bylaw.
Okay. Is there anybody for the public on this item with regards to the cell tower at our Public Works property? Okay. If I could have councillors Bruno and Elliott move that the Development and Government Relations Department Report 2025-212 be received, and that the Economic Development Officer be directed to bring forward a report regarding a proposed property lease for a cell tower at 3 Kalali Street West to a future meeting of council for approval. Questions or comments? All in favor? That's carried. So that ends these two items, and if anybody has any questions, you can email the city clerk at cityclerk@portcolborne.ca. That's cityclerk@portcolborne.ca. We have two statutory public meetings this evening. Item 5.1 is public meeting report for proposed site-specific zoning bylaw amendment, Main Street West, file D14-05-25, 2025-237. And then I guess, Eric, you're going to take it from here on this one. Perfect.
Thank you. Through the mayor to council. Tonight, this zoning bylaw amendment is for a portion of lands at the rear of B&C Truck Center on the address noted by the mayor. The applicant is in attendance tonight and has prepared a slide deck. Was going to leave it to them to provide an overview of the application.
Perfect. Come on up.
Great. Thank you very much, Mayor Still, members of council. Thanks for having me this evening. I'm Craig Rowe with GSP Group, based out of our Hamilton office. I'm here representing 168, which is a number company that owns BNC Truck Center, with authorization from Todco Investments, who's the owner of the lands. Sorry to a couple of the councilors who were at our Committee of Adjustment meeting a few weeks ago and kind of saw the nuts and bolts of this, but we thought it would be helpful just to be clear, because it's involving a large piece of vacant land in the city, and we're sure some people might have saw it and thought there's maybe some development coming, but actually very technical applications in their nature. So right now, what's before you tonight for the public meeting is the zoning bylaw amendment, which is also tied to a Committee of Adjustment application. That Committee of Adjustment application was passed, I think, a week or two ago by the committee. And what it's being undertaken for is to address an existing encroachment. So right now at the rear of the BNC Truck Center, there's a graveled area with a couple of C-cans and some trucks that are temporarily parked. They use it to maneuver the trucks around. Unfortunately, this encroachment that's 20 years old has been on the Todco lands, and Todco is now looking to divest themselves of the property. So in order to clean up the property and clean title, they need to have this addressed. So they've come to an agreement with 168 for the purchase of that property. So the intention of the applications is to take that encroachment area, add it to 639 Main Street West as part of BNC Truck Center, but in order to continue to use it in tandem with the existing motor vehicle service garage use, we also need to have the land zoned highway commercial, but currently it's zoned as residential development, which is more of your residential hold. So just in terms of what's on the screen now, if you can see it, you'll see 639 in the bottom of the screen there. The area in red is approximately the location of the encroachment. There's a little overspill of the gravel, which is going to be cleaned up, but the red triangle there indicates in the aerial photograph the area that's going to be added to 639 and taken from Todco. These form the parts that are shown on the Severn sketch next to it. So part 1 is the area that's to be transferred and rezoned. Part 2 will continue to be owned by 168, and Todco, until they sell their lands, will continue to own the remnant parcel. We can't say enough about staff's treatment of this file. It's been excellent moving us through the process so that both the landowner and 168 can get this matter rectified. We were able to have our pre-consultation in late September, mobilized our consent application, and received approval by the committee just a couple weeks ago. And now we're before you for the public meeting tonight with a recommendation coming in January, I believe. So with that being said, I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have about the development or the applications.
Great, thanks, Craig, appreciate that. Any questions to the applicant? Seeing none, good, thank you.
Thank you.
Before I go to the public, did you have anything to add? You're all set? Okay, perfect. Are there any delegations with regards to this application for rezoning here tonight? Okay, seeing none. If I could have councilors Danch and Hoyle move that Development Government Relations Department Report 2025-237 be received for information, and that council direct staff to consider council, agency, and community feedback received as part of the statutory public meeting prior to bringing forward a subsequent staff report respecting the proposed zoning bylaw amendment. Questions or comments? All in favor? That's carried. So the public meeting for file D140525 is officially closed. If you have any other comments, please forward them to the city clerk at cityclerk@portcolborne.ca. That's cityclerk@portcolborne.ca. Our last item this evening is a public meeting report for proposed site-specific zoning bylaw amendment 5088 Highway 140, file D14-06-25, 2025-238. And Mr. Atch, this is yours.
Thank you, Mayor. Through the Mayor to Council. This file is a zoning amendment for the Asahi Kasei lands. It is land that is west of the municipal zoning order, or the minister's zoning order, I should say. It's lands that fall outside of the MZO, where the future power station, power plant will be located. Currently, those lands are not zoned to accept a power station, so they're being rezoned by the applicant for that purpose. The applicant's agent, Mr. Blackwell, is online tonight virtually, and he has a presentation. Thought we would allow him to provide an overview of the file for us. Thank you.
Perfect.
Good evening, everyone. I just want to make sure that you could hear me.
Yes, we can.
Okay, thank you. So I will ask, I'm not sure if I control the slide deck, so I might ask somebody to change the slide when I go on. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. So good evening, Your Worship and members of council. My name is Brian Blackwell, and I work at Stantec Consulting. I'm AK's agent for this ZBA application. I would like to start by thanking staff for their support and working with AK on this ZBA application, and also the ongoing support for this development. Your Worship, we agree with staff's report and their planning approach to our request for this ZBA application. So the slide that you see on the screen shows the existing approved MZO. That is the green boundary. And what we call that is our existing site. That is approximately 74.4 hectares or 183 acres. Next slide, please. Our next slide shows the Westlands, which is 14.2 hectares and 35.1 acres. This property was purchased after the MZO approval. AK's goal is to have a consistent zoning across the entire property. This is the reason we are requesting this ZBA application. And to get technical, basically, our existing land is zoned heavy industrial as part of with special provisions. This is similar to the MZO zoning for the Eastlands. So what we're trying to do is the existing zone, which you see in gray, is an H146 with a holding zone, and the other site just below that is an ID 47H with the holding zone. What we'd like to do is basically have the heavy industrial zone with special provisions throughout the whole site. Your Worship, this slide shows, thank you. Your Worship, this slide still shows the existing site plan as approved. Next slide, please. This slide shows the proposed land use for the Westlands. What's proposed on these Westlands is a hydro substation, which will be built by Honey or Hydro One, with a stormwater management pond on the Westlands. Your Worship, we have provided all reports and studies as part of our submission to support the ZBA request. We thank you in advance for your continued support for this development. If there's any questions.
Great, thank you, Mr. Blackwell. Any questions from councilors? Okay, seeing none. Thank you again, Mr. Blackwell. Eric, you're all set? Okay. Is there anybody here this evening with regards to this application, if they have any comments or questions? Yeah, come on up to the mic. We're going to ask you to state your name and your address, just over here. Yep. State your name and address, and just to let you know you've got a 10-minute time limit.
Sure. Can you hear me?
Yep. Oh, just press the red button there. Yep, perfect.
Thank you, Your Worship, members of council. My name is Scott Lemke. I'm here on behalf of the property owner adjacent to the hydroelectric substation that I hear is going to be manufactured. If you could go back, Mr. Blackwell, to the previous slide, it'd help with my question. That's perfect. And so my my question, Mr. Blackwell, through your worship, is where is the substation drawing the hydro from in order to power it?
Mr. Ash?
Through the,
So the question was, where are they drawing the power for the substation? Is that the question?
That's correct.
Okay. So we are working with Hydro One. So we are not building the substation. Hydro One is. And they own existing infrastructure in this area, and they will bring the power to the substation. I could tell you right now, I've been in meetings with Hydro One. They've started the design of the substation. So it's not a matter of where we're going to hook up. They will bring the power to the site. That is their mandate.
And just to give you some further information, so Hydro One is rebuilding the Crowland station as well as bringing a brand-new hydro line from Thorold into Crowland, and then it'll come from Crowland to this site. That's where it's gonna come from. So it'll come from north to
Crowland
south.
is
To the north,
to the northwest, on the other side of the canal, correct?
correct.
And so there will be a new crossing of the canal that will come down to what appears to be, I think the answer to my question is right here, is where there seems to be a new tower being installed that will provide power to the substation. Is that correct?
Yes,
So none of the currently existing hydroelectric infrastructure will be used to supply power to that substation. Is that correct?
that's correct. It'll be a brand-new line coming in
From Crowland.
from Crowland, yeah.
And do you know where it's crossing the canal?
No, I don't, not at this time.
Good.
All
Thank you.
set? Good, thank you. Okay, Mr. Ash, you're all set.
yeah, I was just gonna add that I don't believe it's crossing the canal in Port Colborne. I think it's farther north. So anyhow, leave that. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. Any further comments on this application? Okay. Questions from council this time? No, okay, I'm gonna put this on the floor. If I could have Councilors Baggy and Aquilina move that Development and Government Relations Department Report 2025-238 be received as information. And that council direct staff to consider council, agency, and community feedback received as part of the statutory public meeting prior to bringing forward a subsequent staff recommendation report respecting the proposed zoning bylaw amendment. Again, questions or comments? All in favor? That's carried. The public meeting for file D14-06-25 is officially closed. And again, if anybody has any comments, we ask you to forward them to our city clerk. And the email address is cityclerk@portcolborne.ca. That's cityclerk@portcolborne.ca. We have one bylaw this evening, bylaw number 7412-10325. If I could have councilors Bruno and Elliott move that bylaw to adopt, ratify, and confirm the proceedings of the council of the corporation of the city of Port Colborne at its public meeting on December the 2nd, 2025, be enacted and passed as presented. Questions or comments? Councilor Bruno?
Perhaps I missed my opportunity, but I was just wondering if Eric wanted to say anything to the gallery about when this would come back.
Sure, I can come back to that.
Okay.
We'll
yeah,
pass
thanks.
them, yeah. Any questions on the bylaw? All in favor? That's carried. So, Mr. Ash, before we adjourn, kind of timelines when this especially this one will come back because it's the only one that.
Through
had
the
somebody
mayor
speak
to Councillor Bruno. I believe we have both of these scheduled right now for January 27th, the first meeting in January, to come back. That said, if anything comes up between now and then with respect to feedback from the public and we need to push it out to consider those comments, we will do that. But as of tonight, it looks optimistic for January 27th.
Okay, all right. That being said, we are now adjourned.